Okay, the live is up. The game just ended. This is the Sunday Night Talk. It is wild card round. Oh my God. It's here. We've got two special guests coming up. But don't forget, before we get to the show, if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, if you're not liked the channel already, please do so. This is our first ever live YouTube stream. So, the channel is the Patrick Ramirez channel on YouTube. This is the Sunday Night Talk. All my stuff is up on the channel. My stand-up comedy, my long-form interview series, not to mention the Sunday Night Talk right now. Give it a like. Speaking of stand-up, I was at the Laugh Factory in Chicago this last Tuesday. It was a lot of fun, so be on the lookout for more stand-up clips coming up. All right, let's start the show. We have a lot to talk about. Okay, we are here. It's a Sunday Night Talk. I am about to bring in my co-host, Omar Carmona. Here he comes. Okay, Omar is here. The show is running. We are live on YouTube for the first time ever. Omar is in a dark, dark room, maybe a closet. We don't know.
I gotta start by saying, first of all, can you hear me okay?
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so this is what's going on in my life, Pat. I'm in a period of it's been very hectic, and I know I missed a couple shows. I apologize, but we're back. We're ready to go. And I'm stuck with a slow computer. So this is going to be the last week of glitches, but it's playoff weekend, and I'm excited because although we had dud games this weekend, right? 5 games basically were duds. Mm-hmm. We got a good final game to Wildcard Sunday.
Not only did we need it, we're doing something different for the playoffs because we're live right now. We have a special caller joining us this week as well.
I like it.
Let's bring him in right now. Okay, on the phone is my Uncle Ray. Ray, I don't know if you can hear me because I think your mic is muted, but we're going to give him a second. Let's give everybody a second to come into the live room anyway.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We got you.
Oh, Uncle Ray, everybody.
Hey, what's happening?
Ray's joined us, been on the show before. He is my uncle, Dallas Cowboys fan, loyal watcher of football.
I consider him an uncle to me as well. I was probably that annoying nephew he had when I was growing up because I was a Niners fan and I was, there would be some war of words.
Ray, are you okay with Omar calling you his uncle?
Yes, that's.
Oh, okay. All right. I got nervous there for a second.
I actually brought out the doll and I started putting pins in it, but I thought about it again.
Wow. You don't know how effective that doll actually is.
We're doing well. Given the fact that, Niners fans, we had all hopes to be playing for a Super Bowl title this year. And we did not think we'd be one game behind the Dallas Cowboys this year. So that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Not the season either of you guys wanted. Or actually me neither. We all sucked.
Yeah. Well, Pat, we were kind of expecting you guys to suck.
Okay, fair enough. I will take that criticism from you. You're in a dark room. I'm going to let it slide. Uncle Ray, get a hold of your nephew. Okay, so we all just watched Washington, Tampa Bay. I already said, God, did we need this game? Because that was a rough weekend. Start with you, Uncle Ray. What was your favorite part about this game?
Baker's fumble.
God,
what's up with Baker? Every time it's a crucial point in the game, and he seems not to be able to get it done,
God, and they were playing so well. The Baker-Evans combo was like, we're going to have this for 3 weeks. Just watch. And then he had that that fumble, but you weren't surprised by it. You were like, oh.
Oh no, I
Like,
thought Tampa Bay was up to playing the Commanders a great game. The defense came through on that, that goal line stance. I mean, I thought they had the game after that. I thought they were going to march down and take care of business, but good old Baker.
Omar, better win for Washington or tougher loss for Tampa Bay?
I'd like to say something. I am about ready to start calling them the Redskins again.
Oh, is that right? How come?
Would that be politically incorrect?
Well, I've said it. I'm okay with it. What about you, Uncle Ray? Would you be okay with Redskins or are you?
Yeah, I would be okay with it.
Okay, you sound a little hesitant, but you're okay with it.
I mean, the thing is, I think they should have never changed their name.
I agree. They should have never changed it.
I mean, I think it was political. Of course, everything turns into a political question of the woke society, I guess you want to call it. But no, I think they should have been the Redskins.
Look,
they never changed their name.
It's like an homage.
I don't think the franchise with that name title never did a single thing, not one thing, to disparage Native Americans. So if it was one thing, if it was like a franchise that had running jokes about a people, well, then I could see like, well, you guys got to change. But they never did that. They always honored, and I think so. I want to call them the Commanders. I hear with new ownership, there's talk that the Commanders may change back to the Redskins at some point, and I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, who would name their team anything but something that is honorary? You wouldn't name yourself something derogatory. I'm with you. We're starting off in agreement. Wow, this is a great show.
The Chicago, just real note, the Chicago Blackhawks didn't change their name, and they always said we're not changing it because we honored the Blackhawk people, and that's
right.
So
wow.
But anyway,
I can't believe we agree on something
about that. To Ray's point, Baker Mayfield, isn't it kind of boom or bust for Baker Mayfield always? It's always it's boom or bust. And
well, when he made that run where he ran over a dude, I was like, oh, here it comes. This is it. This is the show.
He ran 18 yards. He put his shoulder down. What quarterbacks these days are doing that?
Right.
And none, but at the same time, but then boom or bust, then he's gonna cough the ball up in the one place. Your defense just got a huge stop, and we can talk about maybe that they shouldn't have even been there, because I don't think at that point in the game Dan Quinn should have gone for that the first fourth down. I don't think he should have done that.
Yeah, where are you on that, Uncle Ray, on all the fourth downs that Dan Quinn went for?
Well, he's always been a gutsy guy, so I didn't question him, but he might have should have just gotten his 3 points and let the defense do their job, but I guess he didn't have any confidence in him. That's all I can figure.
Were you impressed with the Mike Evans effort in this game, Omar? Did you see this? He had this game in him, or did this not surprise you?
First ballot Hall of Famer Mike Evans. He's always been a class act. When they've ever heard anything Mike Evans off the field, nothing short of class personified. So I loved watching him play. I think he's a remarkable talent, but he played a great game today. Baker and they had a great rhythm. They had great chemistry, as they always have. This was on Baker. You cannot fumble the ball after a defensive stop that far back into your own territory. You just can't, you can't do that in September, but you sure can't do that in January in the playoffs at home.
I wrote it down in my notes. I'm going to be sad for whichever team loses this game, because I don't want to lose either of these teams right now in the playoffs. Let's go to the last drive. Washington, they have a 3rd and 2, 54 seconds left on the Tampa Bay 19. Daniels does a QB rollout, and he almost gets tackled in the backfield. And then he gets the first, and then we have the ultimate way to end this game. The doink field goal.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
How nervous,
so these crappy games, these crappy wild card Sunday, And it's interesting because the NFL added basically 2 games when they took away the bye week from the 2 seed, right? And so more games, but at some point I'm thinking this weekend, gosh, that was a more crappy football. It was too much crappy
That was
football.
a tough weekend of football. It really was. I kept convincing myself that these games were good, and I was like, "Wait, isn't Denver down 4 scores?
Yeah.
Why do I think this game is good? This game is not good."
Well,
That's why this Sunday night game bailed us out.
Denver was the one that really disappointed because they came out and punched Buffalo right in the face, and then just never showed up after that.
I was texting my cousin who's a Broncos fan, and he's like, "I'm like, how you feeling?" He's like, "I'm feeling good, but optimistic." And then he stopped texting me. he just went radio silent like you've done before, Omar.
Yeah, well,
when the game doesn't go your way. Hey, I agree. Okay, I got trivia for you guys, but I want to ask one more question before I get to it. Start with you, Omar. Can this Washington team beat Detroit?
They can be a problem for Detroit for maybe a half of football.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uncle Ray, do you agree with that? Or do you
I
think
agree with that. I agree that they can give them a game for a little while, but I think Detroit's just too strong.
Yes.
I
think they're the depth. But let me tell you something. If you are into stock trading, I'm telling you right now, for the next few years, buy stock in Washington.
Wow. Omar, we're not even at the hot takes yet.
Yeah, buy Washington. And I got to ask Ray how he feels as a Cowboys fan, a diehard Cowboys fan since the glory days. And I will say this about Uncle Ray: he's never wavered from the Cowboys. How does a Cowboys fan feel about watching the now Commanders, possibly on the up and up with basically new ownership, right? New ownership, new coach, as opposed to Dallas's, we're on 30 plus years with Jerry Jones at the helm, and Mike McCarthy now is getting an extension in all likelihood this week. How does that feel? Their arch rival, your arch rival is the Redskins. You know what I mean? That's your rival. How do you feel watching them now with their success?
I think it should serve as a wake-up call to the Cowboys that they are just they're not cutting it. All these other teams are advancing and gaining ground on their division, and the Cowboys are just stand still.
And that's a great point. It's look at the gap. Patrick, when was it 2008, 2007? Detroit was 0-16.
Yeah, I mean, right.
They were 0-16, and
right. Horrible franchise.
And that was a while, but I'm just saying it's a franchise that they stuck to a plan. And now look, they had an 11-game win streak this year, and now they are knocking. They could be knocking on the door of the Super Bowl. And in the meantime, what can we say about the Cowboys? Dak's won 2 playoff games, right?
Yeah.
Was
9 years of Jason Garrett,
and during that time, all they really did was Dak won 2 games, and they changed. They got Jason. They went from Jason Garrett to Mike McCarthy. That was it.
What's the feeling in Cowboys Nation, Uncle Ray? Mike McCarthy, stay or go?
I feel he should stay. He's a good coach.
Really?
I mean, I'm
surprised.
He can't play the game, so he can only.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I mean.
What changes do you want, if any? Do you want quarterback? Do you want some drafts? What if you were to put your mind in the GM seat? What are you changing for the Cowboys next year?
I want a new offensive line.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're just
draft, or do you have somebody in mind?
Oh well, I think the draft, because I don't think the Cowboys can afford anybody really. So
yeah, I guess that's true.
Going to have to be someone out of the college ranks and start working on the line, because I think that's where it all starts.
Wow, keep McCarthy and on the line to start. What a very practical suggestion. It's not like this show to really be practical.
But the one thing about the NFL and all failures, when you look at the worst moves, whether it be coaching hirings, trades, draft picks, sometimes it's like the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So let's say you do get rid of Mike McCarthy. Well, who the heck else are you going to get? You know,
Right,
what I
would have been
mean?
my next question. Yeah, who would you
Yeah.
get out there?
Who
We
would
saw
you,
Vrabel
who would
today.
you get that has the playoff experience of Mike McCarthy? He has won a Super Bowl. Who else would you get that stacks up resume wise? And it's just, I think the itch of all these owners. Let's get the next big, bright, up and coming coordinator. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's always
But
been the case though with coordinators getting jobs.
but for every one Bill Walsh, who was a coordinator, for all these guys, there's a lot of crappy head coaches out there.
Josh McDaniels.
There you go.
Well, look at the coaches.
Some guys, and then some coordinators just don't make it as head coaches.
They belong
taking the chance.
Yeah, they belong as coordinator. They're coordinators
Such
for a
a
reason.
It's such a gamble. It's such a gamble in seeing. Don't forget, Jimmy Johnson had the 1-15 season. It takes time to build these franchises. And who are the coaches that are out there? Vrabel signed with the Patriots today. Pete Carroll is out there. Ron Rivera is out there. Belichick went to college.
John Gruden hates certain ethnic groups.
All right. I said bad words in an email 10 years ago.
Are the Raiders considering Pete Carroll?
I saw a post that they were. I
Yeah.
haven't seen any requests for interviews. I saw requests for Steve Spagnuolo. I saw requests for Vrabel. But I have not heard any news since I've checked my Raiders Twitter.
I like Pete Carroll. I think he doesn't need to prove anything to anyone anymore but he's up there in age, I'm 43. Hey, things hurt now in the morning when I wake up.
Well, Pete Carroll has a full head of hair, so we kind of perpetually think he's 62 years old, but it's the hair.
And he's got a good jaw.
Good job. Very active guy, that Pete Carroll.
Jaw.
Yes.
Patrick, look at the archives. We got to find out if jawline has anything to do with coach success in the NFL.
Usually it takes this show 25 minutes to take a turn for the gay, so we set a record today.
All right.
Excellent. All right, guys, you want to play some trivia? I got some questions I need to ask you guys about your respective teams. 5 questions each. You can steal. Let's see who does the best. Are you ready? Now, I flipped a coin before the show started, and the home team is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. So, Uncle Ray, you may choose to receive the first question or give it to Omar.
I'll give it to Omar.
All right, Omar, your first question is, here we go. The 49ers last won the Super Bowl in the 94-95 season. They beat the Chargers in the Super Bowl. Who did they beat in the NFC Championship game? Sorry, correction. Who did they beat the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game? Who did they beat in the divisional?
Ooh. So that was the game before the Cowboys. They beat. I'm just gonna throw. I think they beat the Washington Redskins.
They beat the Chicago Bears 44-15. All right, no points scored.
No points.
All right, now that throws it to Uncle Ray for his first question of Dallas Cowboys trivia. All right, Uncle Ray. The last Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl win was in 1996, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who did they beat in the NFC Championship game?
What was that question again? I mean, I know it's not mine, but can you ask it again?
Who did the Dallas Cowboys beat in the NFC Championship game in the 1996 season? The last year they won a Super Bowl.
Wasn't it the Philadelphia Eagles?
No.
Wait, you can steal, Omar. Don't give away your answer.
I want to steal. Okay.
Ray, final answer.
Was it the Eagles, I guess?
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Omar, for the steal and 1 point.
They beat the Green Bay Packers.
Correct. They beat the
Right.
Green Bay Packers 38-27. All right. Omar, continuing on. The 49ers have been to a total of 19 NFC Championship games. Besides the Cowboys, name another team they have played multiple times.
The New York Giants.
You are correct, Omar. They played the Giants in 1991 and in 2012. They've also played the Bears twice and the Packers twice.
Yes.
All right, Uncle Ray, you got to get on the board here. I think you can do it with this one. In 1992, the Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. Who sang the national anthem?
Yeah. Who was it, Pat? Shit, we were
Oh,
there.
I thought you would know this.
No, I don't, man. Was
I mean, how many beers did he have before the national anthem?
The singer or Ray?
He was probably in line.
Wait, Pat. I'll see. Hold on, Pat.
All right. Don't look this up on your phone.
No, I'm not. I'm right here.
Keep the sanctity of the show.
I just know Michael Jackson was halftime.
Right?
It wasn't Whitney Houston, was it?
No.
No, that is incorrect.
Okay.
Omar,
She
for
sang
the
it to-
steal.
She sang it 2 years earlier. I'm going to guess Diana Ross.
You are both incorrect. It was Garth Brooks.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I thought someone was going to get that. Okay, Omar, you're up 2-0.
Hey,
Here we
Patrick,
go.
these questions are kind of hard, man.
Now, we'll see what happens when you skip 2 weeks of the show.
Yeah.
Jesus.
My payback, I guess.
All right, focus up, Omar. The 49ers have been to a total of 8 wildcard games. What team have they never played in a wildcard round? Multiple choice. Is it the Seattle Seahawks? Is it the Minnesota Vikings? Or is it the Dallas Cowboys?
They have played the Cowboys in a wild card. What was the first choice?
The Seattle Seahawks?
They've never played the
Minnesota
Seahawks.
Vikings.
They've never played the Seahawks in a wild card.
Final answer.
Final
Seattle
answer.
Seahawks.
Final
You are incorrect, Omar. Okay, Uncle Ray, for the steal.
When did
Who have the 49ers never played in the wild card round? Seattle Seahawks, Minnesota Vikings, or the Dallas Cowboys?
Minnesota Vikings.
You are correct. Uncle Ray's on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, chance to tie here, Uncle Ray. Cowboys trivia. The Cowboys' biggest NFC Championship win point margin was in 1976. The score was 37-7. Who did they beat?
What year was that, Pat?
1976.
1976, 37-7.
Cast yourself back to a 1976 young.
Gosh,
Uncle
I want
Ray.
to say the St. Louis Cardinals.
Incorrect. All right, Omar. Can you muster a guess?
1976.
76.
And I'm
37
pretty
to
sure. I'm going to go with bad guess. I'm going to go with the Rams.
You would be correct, Omar. How did you get that?
Total guess, bud.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Omar's on fire here. Let's see if he can keep it going. All right. Name a quarterback who has won a Super Bowl who wears number 16 and is not Joe Montana.
Who has won a Super Bowl?
Yes, a quarterback who has won a Super Bowl wears 16 is not Joe Montana.
I gotta give Patrick a little praise here. I knew he'd have to find some Raiders relevance here. Jim Plunkett of the Raiders.
Oh, you got it. You got it. You could have went Len Dawson or Jim Plunkett. You went Jim Plunkett. Okay, Ray, you're mathematically, you still have a shot.
Okay.
Last couple questions. In
Sounds like
2006, Tony Romo replaced this quarterback at halftime and became the full-time starter.
Oh, get out of it.
Bledsoe.
Yeah.
You got it.
No, that was a I feel bad for my uncle question.
All right, Omar, don't get cocky. Here's your next question. Wait, you froze. Are you even still there, Omar?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Here we go. I got you.
Yeah, there we go.
Name 2 movies that are set in San Francisco.
I will go with The Rock.
That's one.
Okay. Another one set in San Francisco. Oh my God. Okay, give me 10 seconds. I'm on the clock. Mrs. Doubtfire. Boom.
Wow, hit it at the end of the shot clock there.
Yeah.
All right, for posterity, Uncle Ray, because there's one more question left.
All right.
Last one wins. Of all the Dallas Cowboy coaches, who has the best winning percentage? Is it A, Barry Switzer? Is it B, Jason Garrett? Or is it C, Wade Phillips?
Barry Switzer.
You are correct. He is the all-time highest winning percentage Dallas Cowboy coach. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. He didn't get enough chance. Jerry
He
won
is-
Super Bowls right away.
He has a winning percentage of 0.625%. Jason Garrett is Wade Phillips is second at 609, and Jason Garrett 559%. Wow. Good trivia game, everybody.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, Uncle Ray, thanks for joining us on the show tonight, giving us your wild card reactions.
Sounds good, Pat. Always a pleasure to join you guys and talking about the NFL.
Do you have a Super Bowl pick right now?
I'm going with the Detroit Lions and Buffalo Bills.
That was Uncle Ray, everybody.
And I'll second that one.
Wow, two agreements in one show with Omar and Uncle Ray.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I think that's gonna happen.
Thank you, Ray. Have a good night.
Good night.
You too. Later, guys.
That was apparently our Uncle Ray. So talking playoff games, we talked about Saturday was just a real weird day. Not interesting, not fun. I don't know where you want to start. If we go straight to Sunday was kind of fun because we had 3 games and you could just sit down and watch one, then it ended, then you watch the next one, then you watch the next one. So you feel like you could take it all in today. So let's just go quick on Chargers Houston. And here's my Chargers question. Does Justin Herbert suck? Have we been tricked for the last 4 years that the guy is good? Do you know his stat line today?
I don't know the stat. If you can give it to me, but it wasn't good. I mean, he threw 4 picks.
He threw 4 picks, and the weirdest part was when that game started, they drove down the field really easily 2 times in a row. They didn't get touchdowns. They got field goals. And then just the lights went out. They just shut down. The guy couldn't do anything.
Correct.
Herbert was 14 of 32, 241 yards, 1 TD, 4 picks. It was just a mess for the Chargers. And like, if anything else, it was the perfect AFC early Saturday game because not only was it boring and you blinked your eyes and it was over, Houston had this huge sunlight rectangle in the middle of the field because it was like an early game. The sun was shining through. That made it look really weird on TV. I don't know. Where are you on Herbert? This was really bad.
Not a good game, but I mean, and look, it's Harbaugh's first year. I think you'd agree that maybe he doesn't have the most weapons right now. Okay. Excuse me. Lad McConkey was fantastic yesterday. I think he had 15 catches, 198 yards. That was
Yeah.
97.
Yeah, like there was one 88-yard touchdown that is padding these stats a bit too.
Right. But still, I mean, 15 catches. I mean, that's or was it 11 catches? Whatever it was double digits.
Yeah, he had 9 catches.
Oh, 9 catches.
197 yards. And that long was 86 yards. So there's some weapons there. I don't know what's going on, but it just seems like we've been tricked by Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, he the clock is ticking on him, whether he's going to be that guy that takes the Chargers over. But remember, this is a franchise that is synonymous with quarterbacks with huge stat lines and just do not get it done in the postseason, a la Dan Fouts, a la Phillip Rivers, and now Justin Herbert.
Yeah, they were showing all like the throwback photos during the game of like the last Chargers, playoff victory, and it's Phillip Rivers, and I go, oh yeah, I remember how this script goes.
Yeah.
This is about how it's gonna go.
The guy that took him to a Super Bowl was Stan Humphries.
Right. And Natron means.
Right. Before prison.
So you're out on him, or you're just like, you know what? Like I'm not gonna like go out of my way to watch your games anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that.
Yeah. It's really disappointing from the Chargers. I thought they'd do better than 12 points. On the flip side, it took Houston a while to get this game controlled. I don't know if that was Houston's best game either. And they play Kansas City next week, right?
Yeah.
What's your confidence level with Houston going into Kansas City?
Not bad. Not bad. They showed me something. That defense showed me something. And again, I don't think we've seen the best of all year. We haven't seen the best of the Chiefs. So I don't know. For them to go back to the Super Bowl and really compete for a third straight title, we are going to need to see the best now from them. And we haven't all year. So
don't forget the injuries. Houston's missing that receiver with that injury, and they played the Chiefs really tough.
They're missing Tank Dell. They're missing Diggs, and Nico Collins. He had a good game. He had a few good plays, but Joe Mixon seems to have reestablished himself. Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. I was moving this weekend. I'm sorry. So I'm a little off, but
I need a Red Bull.
I think the Texans are in a good place. I mean, I think rightfully so. They're going to be playing in Arrowhead, and that's not easy for anybody in January. So I think for that reason, again, the Chiefs should win, but I do think the Texans can do it.
I'm with you. And watching all these games today, because all the home teams won, teams like the Chargers, the Packers tonight, like if you're going to beat these teams, like you really have to be perfect.
Yes.
The biggest example was the Packers today, where like they're driving, they got something going, penalty, injury, bad decision by Jordan Love. Like you can't make these silly mistakes. Like they got a personal foul where the defender threw Saquon Barkley well after like forward progress had been stopped. And it's just like, you can't be doing this. You're already playing uphill. And these little mistakes were killing the Packers and the Chargers, and Houston going to next week is like, you can't have the penalty when you convert a third down finally. You can't have the penalty for the personal foul. You can't rough Mahomes when he's 2 steps out of bounds. Like you really just have to be on it. I don't know if that's possible, to be honest, with these underdog teams. So again, this might be one of those, this is going to be a game till halftime type of thing. And then like, let's keep going. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Pittsburgh tried really hard to make this a 2-score game, and that's about it. Russell was not great, although he gave us a couple flashes. Lamar, when he wanted to, seemed like he was untackleable.
Right.
So I guess I'm not surprised by the Pittsburgh one, because I was like, there's no way Pittsburgh can beat Baltimore, right? There's no way. And yet 2 touchdowns doesn't even tell the story of that Baltimore game. So I came out of that Saturday night Baltimore game saying like, Baltimore is strong. Like this is a 3-horse race in my mind. It's KC, it's Baltimore, it's Buffalo. And I don't know any other AFC team that is going to mess up that. And we're going to find out next week because Baltimore goes to Buffalo, of course.
Right.
So Baltimore, like them, or is Buffalo still your over Baltimore?
I like Buffalo to win the game.
Yeah. Okay. Home field, you think Josh Allen will have a big game? Do you think Lamar will crack under the pressure? Or do you think we're just going to see an awesome divisional game?
I'm hoping to see a good old-fashioned quarterback shootout.
Yeah, okay, we might have it. Did you hear this at the end of the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game? Jimmy Johnson is on Fox. I don't know where he got this. This is not even a hot take. This is a crazy take. He suggested the Cowboys and the Steelers trade coaches.
Yeah, that was a little funny.
Yeah, all right. So you saw that too. I didn't
Yeah.
hallucinate that. He's like, I got no insider knowledge, but what about a change of scenery? I'm like, well, I think the Cowboys would be okay with that change. I don't think the Steelers would be all right with that, Jimmy Johnson. What are they going to trade for Mike McCarthy and give them, I don't know, $10 million?
Right.
And give them Russell Wilson and give them half the defense? That was insane. That was an insane take, Jimmy Johnson. All right, talking Sunday's playoff games. Denver, Buffalo started the day off. Denver has, I think, the best drive of the season opening drive. Scores like a 50-yard touchdown pass and then packed it up. They didn't do anything the rest of the game. Unbelievable. Sean Payton was so pissed during this game. Sean Payton gave them a chance with the fake punt. One of the, like a great fake punt, gave them a possession. And I got to say, the biggest thing that pissed me off in this game was like, the receivers are dropping catchable balls that Bo Nix is putting in their hands. And again, you have to be perfect when you're an underdog. You have to catch these 7-yard bullets. You can't get the penalty. It was
but
it was really rough for the Broncos.
It was rough, but again, I think I sent you a message. I think honestly, this season was a success. At the ultimately, that's a rookie quarterback. Rookie
quarterback. I agree, but that was a terrible way to go out. You can't say that.
Bad way to go out. Bad way to go out.
The funny part is in the first half too. Just Josh Allen really missed a lot of balls. He really missed a lot of receivers. By a lot, I mean like 2. But Denver, didn't help their cause at all. And I really thought Denver could have had a shot into this game if they just caught 2 more passes. But they're not a great football team. On the road, young players. I guess it caught up to them. I don't exactly know what, but Buffalo puts up 31 straight points.
Yep.
And it ends up being a really easy win. And that's the Buffalo I think we all knew that they were. So now we go to the middle part of the game, which I knew this was going to be my least favorite game of the day. Did you? Were you looking forward to this game? Green Bay, Philly?
Absolutely I was. You know what?
I knew this was going to be bad.
You thought it was going to be bad?
I knew it was going to be bad. Philly's boring. Green Bay looked horrible last week.
The best part of the game was during one of the breaks, was at halftime, they played the Love Hurts song. And then I
have that written down.
It was Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts.
Right, because Jordan Love was playing bad, so they got Love Hurts, but then you could throw Hurts in there because you got Jalen Hurts. I don't know who dug that song up, but like, whoa, wait a second. That was great. I have that written down for a category later. We should have known something was wrong when the Packers fumbled the opening kickoff.
No, that was bad.
That's a bad omen. That is the black cat crossing your path.
Hey,
that is seeing the number 666 in a piece of fruit. That is a bad omen.
But and Jalen didn't look all that great. So let's, I don't know if they're going to be winning next weekend.
And everybody was getting hurt on the Packers too. At some point, I think they had like the 3rd team lineman in there for the Packers. And then the Packers totally fall apart on this play.
We know for a fact that the Bucks, not the Bucks, the Commanders are going to be playing Detroit, right?
That's correct.
And it's Minnesota and Philadelphia.
Yeah, Minnesota and Rams to determine who goes to Philly.
Right. Minnesota and Rams. I'm not giving the Rams any chance, by the way, but I guess I think we're going to probably talk about that at the very end of the show. But
yeah, we can talk about it now since it's a weird Monday night game.
I think that if you're an Eagles fan, you are praying that Sean McVay and Stafford get it together and take out the Vikings, because I think that Minnesota Vikings defense is built to shut down an offense like Philadelphia.
Yeah, they got Saquon Barkley, who's had a career year, but if they can stop him, that's it. Right. I don't know what else Philly has.
There were throws that it seemed like Jalen Hurts had an hour to make a throw and was still not very accurate.
Well, there was that one touchdown play where I think he had like 10 seconds back there.
Right.
And then he did make a good throw on that.
That was a great throw.
they're capable. Philly is capable. There's like, they just don't pass the do I trust test for me. I have it written down. The Packers totally fall apart where they have the ball. It's 3rd and 1, and they don't even have Josh Jacobs in the offense at that point. And he's having a great, Josh Jacobs was effective in this game. So they don't get it. Then they go for it on 4th and 1. Jordan Love is inaccurate. It's an incomplete. They turn the ball over on downs, and then they get the dumb personal foul tackling Saquon Barkley. It was just over. Like, just an embarrassing way to end the season. We're like, oh, we're bad on all aspects here. Josh Jacobs was having a great game, and they were in it with a shot, and God, they couldn't put it together. I mean, I'm going to blame coaching on this one. Like, just the penalties. I got to give them a pass for the injuries, okay? But, God, it was rough. The play calling was bad, and then the personal foul just sealed the deal. And then, you know what? I have to admit, I took a nap in the middle of this game. I fell asleep. It was boring.
It wasn't good.
It was boring. Thank God for Sunday night. It really saved me. I was engaged. I was watching the whole game. I enjoyed it. And then, like I told you, I was like, damn it, one of these teams is not going to be playing football next week. I love both these teams. I selfishly wanted Tampa Bay, but I really liked what Washington did tonight. Like, Jaden Daniels had blood coming off his face. I was like, all right, here we go. This is about to get wild. There was that play. Did you see the one where Jaden Daniels is running the ball? He goes to the sideline and he gets hit, and he absolutely gets leveled. He is horizontal, 5 feet in the air, and thank God he bounced back up. But he took a lot of hits today.
Yeah.
I was kind of nervous. Do you get nervous, or is like just like, all right, this is the young guy year where nothing affects him?
No, you got to get nervous. Those are some big hits.
They were big. They were big. And it was almost like, oh, he's like a mini Josh Allen, just putting his shoulder down for some of these hits. And God, I hope he doesn't get injured next game, because we haven't had any quarterback injuries yet.
Right.
In this playoffs. Like, think of the years past with Purdy, or even that Mahomes year that he had to go out. There's always one. So that was playoff weekend. Also, and then we got in the Tampa Bay game, tie game, 441 left in the 4th, and there's a kickoff, and it hits the wire of the camera, and they get to have a do-over.
Yeah.
I love it. We just do it over.
That was good.
All right, so those were the playoff games. That brings us to the awards for the week. Live on YouTube. Live awards, Omar.
Oh.
Most memorable moment.
Most memorable. I'm going to say that Goddard touchdown from Hurts to Goddard. I've never seen a guy stiff arm somebody 3 times, 3 straight times, and then still make the touchdown.
Yeah, that was really good. That was like, oh man, that was embarrassing, dude. What happened there?
Yeah. I mean, after the second hit, I would have been all right. Just let him go.
He like gave him one more as he's already in the end zone. He's like, hey, take that with you.
Been like, had I been Nick Sirianni, I would have taken Goddard to the side and say, hey, you be sure you apologize to that guy at the end during handshakes.
Yeah, that was a good moment. I wrote down and crossed off, like, Chargers game till halftime, Pittsburgh till when they got down by 2, but those really weren't very memorable. That was like 7 minutes total. So my memorable moment is just 4:41 on in the 4th quarter of this Sunday night game.
That was great. Great
game.
It
was fun. It was back and forth.
And then I think and then when Quinn goes for the 4th down and doesn't get it, and you're thinking, oh, that probably just cost him a playoff win.
Yeah. And he knew it too. He was on the sideline, and like as soon as they heard that huge doink on the upright, it's almost like he went,
Right.
Did you see that kicker too? The Washington kicker running on the field? That guy looked like you could have pushed him over with a pencil. Did you see him trying to put his helmet on like 5 times, and he keeps fixing his hair, and he would mess up, and then he hit the upright? Oh my God, that guy almost got murdered.
That was rough.
That was scary. So I went with the end of that Sunday night game. Next award, the Cringeworthy Award. I went with 2 nominees, Justin Herbert's stat line, and then I went with Fox playing Love Hurts.
You didn't like it.
Oh, I thought it was funny. I thought it was like a funny cringe
I
where
got
like
you. It was
Jordan
funny,
Love
great.
is walking off the field and they're playing Love Hurts by, I think it's Nazareth who sings that song. I was like, too good cringe for, although you could have put the Chargers game in there. Denver after they scored a touchdown. Sean Payton's angry face.
I mean,
Could've went with it.
if you're gonna talk about something that cringes, that Pittsburgh defense just really let me down, and that was just a cringe-worthy performance for 60 minutes of football. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
They got like the 2 stops when they actually needed to be down 2 scores, but that was it.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah, that's not bad. Pittsburgh all year had us confused.
And then also George Pickens, he gets a big play and he's celebrating. It's like, dude, you're down 3 touchdowns in a playoff game.
There was who had the one that stepped over a guy and got a penalty today?
Oh,
who was that?
I think I caught the audio of it because I was in another room, but I don't know.
Yeah, there was a step over penalty that they called taunting for that could have been cringeworthy. Okay, next award that goes to the most memeable moment. This was weird. I don't know why they didn't talk about this more. There was a point in the Buffalo-Denver game where they do a shot of the referee is talking to Josh Allen on the bench, explaining to him why he gave him a no call. Like, since when do referees go to the sidelines?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
And talk. So I'm like, you can make a meme out of that. We're like, because you always see these memes of like the refs fixing the game for the Chiefs, the referee wearing a Chiefs jersey. I was like, this could be a meme for the refs in Buffalo. I did not hear a lot of explanation about that. That was strange.
That was strange. I'm gonna go with Dan Quinn's look on his face when that kick hit the bar, the goalpost, and just the relief of this is what happens when you go for it twice in the fourth quarter on 4th down.
There was another kick that hit the upright this week. Was it Denver?
Yes. Yeah,
like it's always really loud when it hits. Like I'm always surprised, like, damn, that's a big hollow piece of metal there.
Yeah, it makes a loud thud.
Good memeable moment. Next award, the Best Innovation Award for the week. Okay, did you notice this? They're showing the national anthem now before these games. Did you see we had 2 saxophonists playing the national anthem?
Well, I like that. Yes.
Philly, and I think the other one was Houston.
Yes.
So I went with first nominee, Best Innovation, the saxophone. Who doesn't love the saxophone?
You played the saxophone growing up.
Yeah, I played the saxophone in middle school. So I always loved the saxophone, but I can probably list you 4 or 5 like hit songs from the 80s that have like great saxophone. You got Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. You got Glenn Frey, You Belong to the City. You got Careless Whisper, George Michael. You got a lot of good saxophones.
I love The Heat Is On, man. You got to go.
Oh, The Heat Is On, of course. Another Glenn Frey. And then my other innovation was, how about just the notion of the do-over?
That's a good.
Those are my 2 best innovations for the week. What do you got? You have a best innovation?
What should have been the best innovation is adding, taking the bye week away from the 2 seed and 2 extra wildcard games. It should have, but this year it was not the best innovation. But I do think that is the best innovation. I don't think the number 2 seed should. I think only one person should be rewarded with the first round bye. One team.
Only one team. Okay, you like the current setup.
I do.
Yeah. And then we sort of like have to keep an eye on these games to see which lower seed is going to line up with the higher seed. So it does generate some intrigue.
Yes.
During the week. Thank God. I mean, these games are so bad. Thank God we had that Sunday night game to rejuvenate our faith in these playoffs. Next award, the Soundtrack Award. I got one for this week since it's playoffs and these teams are over. Like, your season is over. It's always a bummer when you're like, oh, shit, that's it. No game next week. So I went with Queen. Another one bites the dust.
Ooh, good one.
Teams dropping. No surprises, really. Just teams dropping. So that was my pick. Got a Soundtrack Award for the week.
I was gonna, like, you took mine because it was cringeworthy for you, but I loved the Love Hurts song for that. That really stuck out in my mind.
I kind of just remember that song from
The Gatorade commercial.
commercials. Oh, Gatorade commercial. And then like from our youth, there was these commercials that was like Time Life, Sounds of the 70s. And it would play all these songs and you could buy a CD or a cassette
They're
tape.
like 6 CDs.
Yeah, you could buy all these CDs and you would have this
if
like
you call
mixtape.
and if you call right now, you'll get, and I
Yeah.
always wondered about that recording, like, well, what if I heard this on a tape delay, and if I call right now, am I not going to get the deal?
Right. And that's where I learned about not only these songs, but who sang them, because they would do like the scroll
Yeah,
of
the
the song
yeah.
and the
and then
artist.
the musician would be right underneath the song.
Yeah, you would go, oh, do you believe in magic by Pilot? Oh, Love Hurts, Nazareth. Oh, you would just learn these. You'd be like, oh, Shaking, Eddie Money. You would kind of learn them. So Time Life, Sounds of the 70s. That was our original mixtape.
Yeah.
You're like, and then every once in a while there'd be a surprise. You'd be like, Kung Fu Fighting, Carl Douglas.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Horrible.
I like this song. Those guys were fast as lightning. Next award, the Hot Take Award. I already know you're going to disagree with it. I'm going to say it anyway. I think Philly loses next round.
No, I think that depends on who they play, but I think if it's the Vikings,
I don't think it matters. I think they lose next round.
I don't think the Rams are winning tomorrow, so
they're not good. All right, what's your hot take?
My hot take, I'm going to go with something outside the playoffs. Mike Vrabel will have the Patriots back in the Super Bowl in 4 years.
4 years? Wow. Jeez. It took a little longer than I thought, but yeah, they got their man, Mike Vrabel.
He knows about the Patriot way.
And he's proven himself with the Titans. He was the only good thing about those Titan teams.
That's true.
He got a lot out of those teams. Damn, I wish the Raiders had gotten him. I'm still holding out hope for a good hire. I read today on Raiders Twitter that they are not interested in Dion.
No.
At this point, I don't know if that's good or bad. What was your hot take? Oh, yeah, you had your hot take. Yeah. The Sunday double feature. I had to do a lot of thinking, but once I got it, I was like, oh, yeah, of course, this is my Sunday double feature. So we got almost all the games except Houston were like in cold weather settings. And then our last game was Florida, which is always nice. So I was like, Florida, what's good about Florida? And then I thought, oh, you know what movie is my Sunday double feature? Wild Things. Oh. Denise Richards, Nev Campbell, Kevin Bacon, Matt Dillon, Florida, and like, not even Florida, dirty, sweaty Florida. Big twist at the end. Like, that was a big 90s deal of a movie because there was like nudity and lesbo action. Lesbos were a novelty in the 90s. Now they're everywhere.
For my doubles feature, in the spirit of Florida, but I'm going to stick to football in Florida. And there is no better football movie, Florida movie. I know you're going to think I'm going to say The Program, but I'm not. It's The Waterboy.
Oh, wasn't Waterboy like in the South though? I guess that's Florida. That's Florida. It was Florida. Oh, okay. Yeah. The Water, I thought you were going to go Any Given Sunday because they were like the Miami Sharks, weren't they?
Oh, they were. Patrick? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with my double feature being...
double feature.
Double. Oh, you know what? Let's get dramatic here. I'm going to go with The Program and...
oh, my God.
And Any Given Sunday. We'll save The Waterboy for another time because now I got to verify if it really wasn't Florida.
Oh, okay. Waterboy. Yeah, seat at the table.
Let me see. Is where the water... Okay, go on with the...
Seat at the table. What's your favorite line from The Program?
The favorite line from The Program. It wasn't the line. It was, it was when Kane goes and sees his girlfriend, or I guess she was pissed at him, but he's trying to make up. I was hoping I can blow off some steam, and if you'd like to share a 6-pack with me, and then he takes that 6-pack of like 7-Up or something.
Right after he said he quit drinking. Yeah. What a red flag for that girl. Like, oh, let me date this quarterback who's already an alcoholic, has no prospects beyond this year.
And who doesn't handle pressure very well.
Yeah, is driving motorcycles off ledges.
getting under the train tracks, crawling on train tracks while the train's coming through.
His dad is an alcoholic.
Wow.
Yeah, well, what a red flag.
You were right, Pat. Waterboy's Louisiana set. I don't know why I got Florida.
Yeah.
It's set in Louisiana. Bobby Boucher
Gotcha.
makes sense. It was the Creole thing. That's what I.
Bobby Boucher. Great quotable movie, Waterboy. That brings us to the next award. I got an announcer award this week, and I was scrolling through Twitter. I was surprised to see this. Tony Romo and Jim Nantz are getting a lot of shit for not calling the game well or talking about the referee thing. There was a pass that was caught, I think by a Bill. It looked like it was incomplete on the replay. The referees upheld it, and they were just kind of like, moving on. All right. Well, you got to get to the line quick. They're getting a lot of. Have you seen that Tony Romo is getting shit after this game? I'm surprised.
Yeah, that was. I was surprised too. I didn't think it was such a big deal.
There was nothing that stuck out to me, but other than the referee talking to Josh Allen on the bench, I guess. So I'm a little surprised. So I'm going to give the announcer award to Romo and Nantz this week for catching some shit. Any announcer award, or should we move on to the location?
Every time something happens, I'm not saying the greatest thing I've ever seen. Why does Collinsworth get away with saying every week, I thought I have seen it all?
He always thinks he's seen it all.
He's always thinking he's seen it all.
You know what? Another reason why I was bummed out that Tampa Bay is out of the playoffs. Did Collinsworth give Baker Mayfield the nickname the Disruptor? I never heard that before. Had you?
Good point. We gotta look that up.
Yeah, because like Baker Mayfield does something. Where is it? I wrote it down here somewhere. He does something, and then Collinsworth just goes, the Disruptor. And then I think Tirico left him hanging one time. He was like, what is he, Mike? And then Mike didn't say anything. He left him hanging. Like, oh, I'm bummed. We could have called him the Disruptor for another week. I don't know. I never heard that. Oh, no, here it is. Baker Mayfield did that run where he ran over someone, and Collinsworth goes, the Disruptor is back. Like, what? And then they did a close-up of Baker Mayfield's face, and he's got like the eyes like staring. I'm like, oh my God, did they plan that? Like, this is perfect. So I've never heard the Disruptor for Baker Mayfield. It doesn't seem like you have either.
No.
Jeez. That was the announcer award. Okay, location award. I got this one because we got LA fires going on. Really horrific.
In
my hometown.
So sad that's happening, and you got to feel for so many people, so many kids. It's just
houses are gone.
Houses are gone. It's just a horrific thing. That's what's going on, and I hope everything. They can find some light and joy. And I know right now that's asking for too much right now, because the sad thing about a disaster like that is these people are stranded there, and everywhere they look, it's like a constant memory of what's going on right now.
Yeah, fire really close to where I used to live too, in Glendale, California.
Yeah,
and which is kind of why I was hoping for both LA teams to win this wild card round, so we could like get a little like surge in something, something like now we've got something to play for. Now the Rams still have are still playing. And they did a tribute to firefighters and first responders in all the games because of the wildfires, which was nice. But so my location works because now the Rams couldn't play their home game at SoFi. So now the game is being moved to Arizona. So location, I'm going to give it to you, Arizona, for subbing in and serving as a field for the LA Rams. And I'm hoping the Rams win this game so that they can maybe have some. I don't know if they can have a home game in the next round, but can you imagine if LA had a home game in a week? How huge that would be for the home crowd.
That would be huge.
This is like one of those things where all of a sudden now the team has something extra to play for. It would be big. So Arizona, you get my location award for subbing in, and I'm hoping the Rams win tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope for that reason. I mean, yeah, I would hope for that, but Honestly, these people have been through so much. I don't even know if a football game would do that. Their homes, you know what I mean? It's just so awful what's going on with them that I feel for them.
Yeah. So, location award. You have a location? Just LA in general?
No, no. Right now, I'm again aside from the LA talk, my location where football back in Buffalo. It's cold. It's winter. I love it. I love it.
Oh, I had another thought about the while watching the Buffalo game.
Oh, I thought Jim Kelly versus John Elway. That's what I was thinking.
I had this thought looking at the stadium because there were some great overhead shots of the stadium. What was the old Buffalo Stadium called? It was called like
Rich
Stadium. And they would show these games, Buffalo's cold in the winter, and Rich Stadium had like the hard AstroTurf. And for some reason, that looked like the most painful stadium. Hard AstroTurf. It was cold. If there was any moisture, the field would turn like light green.
Yeah.
That field looked painful. So I'm glad they moved stadiums. That field never looked good on television.
Sure.
Rough. Next award, the best quote of Wildcard Weekend. This one was pretty funny. I'm going to give it to Tom Brady. This is the funniest thing I've ever heard him say, and he wasn't even trying to be funny. But the Packers have the ball. They're down 2 scores, and Kevin Burkhardt is like, all right, they need to get the touchdown here. Onside, they get the 2-pointer, and they got to hope for that. And Brady goes, hope is not a strategy, by the way. I was like, wow, Tom Brady, good quip there.
That would have been my award too. That was awesome.
Hope is not a strategy,
because that's a 7-time Super Bowl champion telling you that.
Yeah, I liked it. Tom Brady, he went up a notch for me there. Next award, best play call / coaches award. I went with, even though it was in a losing effort, Denver's fake punt was fucking beautiful. That was a great fake punt.
That was great. I couldn't think of one play. I'm gonna take a mully on this one. I couldn't think of one thing. I mean, the games are just kind of like, they were so lopsided, except for that one at the end. I'll give Quinn, to go for it on 4th down twice in the 4th quarter. That's huge. That's balls.
All right, next award. Who won the week? I got, did you see that book that was it AJ Brown was reading on the sideline?
Yeah, that's dude, you took it from me. I was gonna say the national, was that old reading, the Book It Club, or Reading Rainbow, whatever you want to say. The guy's reading a book during a playoff game on the sidelines.
I wrote down the author of that book won the week because he sold some copies because of that. The guy's reading this book called The Inner Excellence on the sideline. So the author won the week. I wrote the Baker / Jaden matchup really won the week. That was great. And then Sunday night in general won the week for me. But probably the author of that book won the week. It's like, hey, I wrote this book 10 years ago. All of a sudden, everyone wants to buy my book on Amazon. Thank you, AJ Brown. Take it with you to the next game, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that brings us to Monday night. There is a Monday night game, and it's a playoff game. It's Minnesota at the LA Rams from Arizona. Omar, pick the game.
Minnesota 27, the Rams 17.
Oh, really? Do you think big game from Darnold? Defensive struggle, turnovers. And how are you going to watch this game? Because it's Monday night. I get a little football fatigue, to be honest, by Sunday night.
I'm going to watch it. I'm just going to watch it at home. I'm going to have it on at home.
Okay. Yeah. Do you like Stafford in this game, or do you think he's going to be the reason they lose?
I don't mind Stafford. I just really like the Minnesota defense.
Okay. You got Minnesota winning. I got to go with the hometown LA Rams. I want them to win so bad. Again, I'm going to be sad for whichever team leaves the playoffs here. But I'm going to go with the Rams. Let's go high scoring, 34-30.
There you go.
So that was the Sunday Night Talk live.
Live.
We did it. We're live on YouTube. I don't know if anybody watched it, but
Oh,
it was
good.
there. And we're going to be live for the playoffs. Not to mention this will be up on my channel as soon as the live stream ends as well, so people can catch it then.
No,
So,
we got
Omar,
the divisional round next week. Let's get pumped.
let's get pumped. Thank you, Uncle Ray, for calling in. For Omar
Absolutely.
Carmona, for me, Patrick Ramirez. This was the Sunday Night Talk. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Good night. Go Bills Mafia.
Oops. All right, end stream.
All right, man. Good show.
Hold on, I'm still figuring out how to end the stream.